So this week, the big lotto went out. What was the amount?
It's like 1.8 billion.
1.8 billion.
Billion with a B.
Did you buy a ticket?
Of course.
Of course. How many did you buy? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's just be honest, bro.
A little embarrassing, but I had like different pots going on.
Ooh.
Kinda like, you have to partner up, right?
Yes.
Get more chances to win.
Unity.
Might be less money.
Yep.
But more chances to win. So.
Yeah, a couple millions less.
I know. Still worth it though. I had one going on with a couple friends where we just each put in like $20.
Yeah.
You know, we all took it's funny because you have your friends, but you still don't, when it comes to that amount of money, which you don't even have yet.
Yes.
You still have to make sure. So we snap a picture of our tickets. Like this is our tickets. All right. You know, like this, if you win, like we all know. I had them with them. And then at work too. So some of my guys there, we all kind of went in the pot together.
That's good. And then where did you guys keep the tickets?
I kept them in my.
So you're the trustworthy.
I'm the trustworthy.
You're the trustworthy friend in your circle.
Well, yeah, come on, dude. Well, for work, it's like these are my employees.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude,
They have no choice.
They have no choice. So it's like, I mean, and allegedly, some of them can't even really claim.
Allegedly.
Some of them can't claim it. You know, so it's like, I'll take care of them. You know, I'll claim it.
That's good. So it was 1.8 billion.
1.8 billion.
Okay.
Wait, did you buy some?
We bought a few.
All right, Pastor,
we bought a
let's go.
few. I was going to tithe. I was going to
course.
go beyond. I was going to give 20%.
Hey,
I told God,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing this for you.
He's gotta
I'm
hear
doing
you.
this for the kingdom. I'm just trying to be a sower. I'm like, Lord,
Build
give
this
me
church.
seed. But no, we bought a few, and I mean the odds. I heard the odds were like it was crazy to even win or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't have. The odds were insane. 2 people won, not even in California, which is wild.
Yeah.
But it makes you think. Like at some point after, okay, you buy tickets and you're like, there's no way I'm going to win.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while, you're like, but if I won, what would I do? And I was thinking about like, dude, what would I do? What would you do if you would have won that money? Like, not what would you do, but like, what would you get? What would you buy? How would you use the money?
I mean,
After the tithe, of course.
the tithe is like.
Automatic.
Yeah, automatic.
Yeah.
You don't even
don't
count
even touch
that,
it.
right? You don't touch that. I mean, obviously, I think like you think about the responsible way you're gonna, be able to use this money. You think about paying off all your debt.
Yeah.
Putting money aside for your kids and this and that. But like I
I
think
want to teach them character. You know what I'm saying?
I know Bill Gates isn't leaving his kids anything, right?
No, why would I?
So why would I? Yeah. But I think like if it was like I would definitely want to build like my own dream home. I think that'd be pretty dope. And travel.
Yep.
I mean, you with that amount of money, I don't think you ever have to work again.
Right.
So I mean, that would be like the irresponsible thing, and just build a huge compound. For what? I don't know. Just have friends over.
For sure.
But I would be traveling. I'd do a lot
Yeah.
of traveling all over the world, seeing the sights.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just such a crazy amount of money.
Yes.
What would you do?
Same. I thought you were gonna say like something like crazy, but the first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, dude, I would build this house. I would build like a crazy house. And by crazy, I mean like cool. I thought about dogs, horses, like animals.
Well, what's your idea of a crazy house? Are you more like the Tony Stark house, like by Malibu?
Have you seen the movie Knives Out?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Just in the woods.
A manor in the
secluded.
woods, like
pretty
brick and some statues and big trees and
Statues of yourself.
Well, I already have the mock-ups. I had the mock-ups, done.
Wow.
It's me a couple pounds lighter.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Dude, that's
cool.
wild. No, it's crazy. I mean, congrats to those who won and to their pastors who are receiving their tithe.
Yes.
Because I know they're going to tithe.
Gotta. Well, one's from Texas, right?
Oh, dude, then for sure.
Yeah.
Then for sure. Dude, that's so wild. Today is September 11th. We are recording this. It's gonna when people are listening to it, it's already a few days past. But today's September 11th, man. It's not only is it a day that we remember that impacted us, but also like this week, so much heartbreak,
Yeah.
so much senseless violence.
Yeah.
Not just this week, man. It feel like I feel like it's been
It's been an ongoing thing.
an ongoing thing, unfortunately. But and we'll get into it. But I think today, being September 11, I mean, it'd be cool to honor, the memory of that by, we always say remember, and it's good. It's good to
Yeah.
remember. Do you remember where you were?
Yeah, right. It's funny because, not funny because of that, obviously not. But I think a lot of the people that maybe are listening, and even including ourselves, like I know we look a little aged, but we're not that old.
Yeah.
So
We're just in ministry.
we're just ministry, it wears you down. But I was, I think, like 14 or 15 maybe. So I know I was a sophomore, but I do remember that day. I was still getting ready for school, in my skater era. So I had, my big old skating shoes ready to go, lacing them up. And my dad called us from work, and he told us to turn on the news. And so turn it on. I didn't even look real. I think at that age, when you're so young, we're on the opposite end of the country. So the Twin Towers, the World Trade Center is not something that comes to mind as a young kid. But just seeing these massive buildings, like at that point, I think when we turned on the news, it was one that was kind of up in smoke. And I saw it live the second plane hit.
Wow.
And that's when my dad was on the phone when talking to my mom and I, and we all just like kind of gasped, including the news anchor that we were watching. It was just like, it didn't seem real. It seemed like a movie. And I don't think it really set in until we started, days after we saw the aftermath of it. But how old are you? I was 15.
Man, well, I was in 7th grade.
Jeez.
And I'm like, I don't even know how old I was, but I was in 7th grade, and I lived in Mexico.
Yeah.
And it goes to show how, and it might be in the topic for today, but like at least back then, how the world just loved America.
Yeah.
Because I'll never forget when we were in school in Mexico, so there was no TVs in the classrooms. This is Mexico.
Did you have overhead projectors?
But we had slides. It's like but I remember the teacher. He said it like, we're at war. He said, we're at war. You didn't know. Back then, it's not like social media. You had the news. You just heard the U.S. is at war, and we're such a close ally that we're at war now. Because that's what people thought at first, that it wasn't a terrorist attack. They thought it was an act of war.
Right.
And they let us go home. I was confused, and we got on the bus home and got home. My dad, we lived in Mexico, but my dad worked in the United States. For whoever's watching, it's too late now. He retired already, so you can't get him fired, and he moved back to Mexico. But we lived in Mexico, and he would cross every day.
Yeah.
And this is how it affected us, and beyond just the personal experience. We lived in Mexico, and he would cross the border every day to go to work. And he would cross in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That night, he went to work, and he was in the line for, I want to say, maybe 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
12 hours. So once he crossed to work, he missed his whole shift.
Yeah.
But he still crossed, and he called my mom.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, I'm not coming back."
So make it to my next shift.
Yeah, I'm already late. No, he said, "Hey, I'm not coming back," because like we lived
wild.
off of him, right? Like
Yeah.
he was the primary breadwinner. So he's like, "I'm just gonna stay at a friend's house while we figure this out."
Yeah.
And that's what caused us to move to the States from there.
Right.
All legal, all legal. We crossed legally. But yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it's wild to bring back those memories, because I feel like right now the similar thing is happening, right? Which is terrorist attacks, attacks of hate, attacks of violence, yet the sentiment's not the same. I think back then, whenever there was an attack on America, whether it's a politician, whether it's an assassination attempt, whether it was a school shooting, it brought the nation together.
Yeah.
But now it just seems like it causes us to be divided.
More divided.
We were talking about it earlier in prep, Mark chapter 3. It says, a kingdom divided against itself will not stand. A house divided against itself will not stand.
Yeah.
And I think the difference between what happened in 9/11 and how we're responding to the atrocities that are in the world today is our devices. And we were talking about it, and this line really came to mind, that it resonated, that our devices are causing us to be divided.
So good. Yeah.
So we are now divided because we are so bombarded with opinions and sides, people weaponizing information,
Yeah.
trying to move people. And it just seems like things that should rally us, school shootings, assassinations, wars, famine, instead of bringing us together in the human spirit, it just seems like people, individuals, in the spirit as well, it's causing us to see it.
Yeah.
And instead of coming together, we get divided into our corners,
Yeah.
and then we go after each other. So that's this kind of what I think we should probably land and start talking about. What comes to mind with everything that's kind of going on right now?
Yeah, I know. I totally agree with you. And that phrase that our devices are causing us to be divided is so true. There's this documentary on Netflix a few years back called The Social Dilemma, and I think I saw it in its time. I think it launched like in 2020. At the time, everything made sense, but it makes more sense now more than ever, I feel, because you have these devices, and what a lot of people I think now know, but the algorithm, of your search engine and all that, what you're looking for, the videos that you're seeing, a lot of times is out of curiosity. You're trying to get news, but you'll land on a polarizing opinion. And the thing about algorithms is that once it realizes what you're searching for and what you're watching, it'll feed you more of that. So I think the majority of people are on the fence, or just are trying to get informed, or just trying to really see what's going on. I think everybody's seeking the truth, just unbiased truth. But the moment you land in a polarizing opinion, and you get fed more and more and more of that, that's what this documentary is about. You over time you phase into that. I don't know if you've seen those viral TikTok videos where it's like, oh, day one of living in California, and then like day two, and then it's like eventually like a month later he's like a surfer guy. It's so true. You really like assume the form, opinion, and shape, or whatever it is of this polarizing opinion. And I think it goes on opposite ends, and what happens is that, like you said, it just causes a division. There's a gap between there's a chasm that is just, it's just, there's no bridge in between. And I think that's what's missing. These senseless acts of violence, there's this lack of empathy for human life is just, it's insane. And we're here in September 11th, 24 years ago. When that happened back then, I do remember, like, it was an atrocity, it was horrible, but what came after that was unity. Like, more than ever, you would see people rallying together to help each other, to get to know their neighbors, to love on their neighbors. But what we're seeing now is just every time something happens, it just causes more of a divide, and for us to close the blinds and stay away from our neighbors, rather than leaning in and getting to know that human side of them. So that's what I see, and it does break my heart. It's a hard time. I totally see it, and I'm just like desperate to see the church and Jesus and us just do something about it. I think that's the dilemma right now.
That's it. And I think one of the things that I think why this is happening, because when you see the violence, we can look at it and hyper focus on it, but it would be as if trying to change the fruit of a tree while the fruit does not is the issue. The issue is not a fruit issue, it's a root issue. And I think what comes out of a person doesn't always tell you where it comes from. What comes out of a nation doesn't always tell you where it comes from. And I think because of social media now, there are people who create this narrative this narrative that try to explain to us this is why it's happening. When I think you and I understand that this is a spiritual dynamic. I think we you know, being in the church world, we are aware that there is a spiritual battle going on.
Yeah.
That our souls are so valuable that both heaven and hell are fighting for it. And I think through politics, through violence, through what's on social media, this is what I believe the enemy does. The enemy is looking to attract people into his camp because he knows that as humans, we are desired and wired to belong. So I think what happens is we'll look up on social media and we just want to belong.
Yeah.
We want to be told that we are on this side. Since we're kids, we want to be categorized whether we want it or not. It's like, am I a jock? Am I a nerd?
Right.
Am I a popular? Am I whatever it is?
Yeah.
And we have been bred from a young age to want to belong. But now that we have an exposure on social media to a whole world, we realize, man, like, I can be whatever, and this is where my truth and my opinion becomes, because we are trying to find our belonging in our identity, not in what we know is true, which is our identity in Christ, but in a political party or in an opinion. And I'll say this, I think what we're seeing now is something that the enemy has done forever, but now it's masqueraded in a different thing. I feel like what we're seeing now, and the reason why people get so passionate and violent on the social media comment sections, on their posts, is because of attachments. Our soul wants to get attached to something so that it finds value, and we call that a soul tie. I think at church we think that a soul tie can only happen sexually with a person, but what I'm seeing now is that people's souls are being attached to ideas. Souls are being attached to opinions. And they are so in love and attached to their version of the truth that they're so blind that it's not black and white, it's always gray. And I think we can even talk about it because it just happened so fresh. I mean, today's September 11th. Yesterday, man, heartbreaking. We talked, you know, yesterday. Charlie Kirk was shot, you know, murdered, you know, at a rally, at an event. He's in Utah. He's at the college, the university there. It's the start of his tour, and you know, by no means are we trying to take a political stance. I think this is our conversation about maybe like the state of the heart and the soul of America, that when that happened, how you responded to it exposed you more than it exposed
100%.
What happened. Like what happened. I think you and I spoke with each other and our hearts were so broken. Because we saw beyond, we're not looking politically first. We're looking at the person. And what we saw, it was so divided.
Yeah, I think it's it goes beyond. I think sympathy is like, oh, that sucks, you know, but I think above that is empathy, where you don't just feel bad for the person, but you feel like, you know, you put yourself in their shoes. So I felt a lot of empathy, and I think it was easy to connect and humanize Charlie, because obviously as a father, as a husband, you see yourself and you're like, dude, the way that happened was, say what you will without politicizing it. I don't agree with everything he says. I'm sure you don't. But at the end of the day, this is a human being. This is a human being, and for that to be happening publicly in that manner, you know, for someone's life to be taken like that, it's just wrong. It's just evil. So I told you, like, when we spoke, that I wept, and I didn't understand it, because like I said, I seen some of his videos, agree with some of it, disagree with a lot of it too. But to see that happening, and I don't know if anybody's seen the actual video. I unfortunately did. But it's scary. It's scary. And what worries me is that, you know, this happening more and more is really like desensitizing the future generations. I mean, we have kids that are little, and I mean, we didn't really see much when 9/11 happened. It was just the news, the reporting, the
Right.
buildings falling down. You saw people full of dust, and you saw some blood. But this gore, this graphic violence that's going on is out there now on Reddit. It's out there on platforms that that people have access to that we didn't have access to.
Yes.
So the state of our country, of our world, just it saddens me. It breaks my heart.
Yes. And I think what's so unfortunate and what's so sad about the matter is that somebody would go to that extreme to express their disagreement with this young man, 31 years old.
31.
31,
Yeah.
younger than us.
Way younger.
And well, than you, younger than us for sure. And like you said, I didn't agree with a lot of what he said.
Yeah.
I don't think my place as a pastor is to be an expert on politics. I think people do ask me a lot. Yeah, somebody called me yesterday. Somebody called me last week when there was the stabbing in the bus.
Yeah.
This Ukrainian girl, when there was the shooting at the church and kids died. Shooting at a school again yesterday. And it just seems like it goes on and on and on. And I can't speak for the church, but I can speak for our church as the lead pastor. Why is there flies in this room?
There's flies everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm sure you can see it in the
We
camera.
apologize for this. We came into this room. We are not going to
pointing
throw
fingers.
shade, but this is a test to see if the youth pastor at our church watches this podcast. Lee, there was youth last night, and there was trash left in this room.
There's donut boxes.
So Lee, we love you. I'm not even gonna text him. We're gonna see if this
Somebody's
gets to
gonna tell
him.
him. Don't tell him. Let him
Now
see.
there's flies.
There's flies everywhere.
So we apologize to I think it's 1.2 billion listeners to this podcast. I believe something like that.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I think that was a lotto.
I think that was
jackpot.
You know what? I might
Easy
be
to confuse.
Yes. What was I saying?
That somebody contacted you
Oh,
last
yeah.
week or something.
And they're like, well, how does local approach these events? How does local approach politics? And I know what it is, because what's happening today is the same thing that happened to Jesus. That's our point of reference. There's nothing at local that we can, that we will be faced with that is new. This is Jesus being brought in, a woman that was caught in the act of adultery. Jesus, the law says that we should stone her. What do you say?
Yeah.
And he says, he who has no sin, throw the first stone. Right. Jesus always sides with those who are being attacked by the law. He did not come to abolish the law. He came to fulfill it.
Right.
Sermon on the Mountain, which means, there is a law, but the law is not our standard. Grace is the standard.
Right.
This is why we can have love and grace towards both the family and the murderer.
Yeah.
Because to God, all sin is equally detestable, but all sinners are equally lovable. So when I'm asked, how does our church approach politics, my answer is always the same: as citizens. As citizens, we are not a monolith. Christianity is not a monolith. We are people. We are not called for uniformity in our voting, but unity in our heart. This is why I think when people ask me, like, what is the church going to say? We're going to say what we always say.
Yeah.
Jesus loves, and Jesus wept, and Jesus' heart breaks when he sees this happening. And what I saw on social media yesterday from the church, I'll say this from Christians, I was pleasantly surprised, because I think it did bring a sense of, it woke us up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the church has slept on injustice and pain so deeply that the alarm that needs to be rang has to be so loud for us to wake up.
Right.
We have been so for what we're against that we forget that what we are for. And yesterday, I love seeing pastors that I know personally a little bit more on the right, and then some that I know a little bit more on the left.
Yeah.
But we came united, because it's not about the sinner. It's about the blood of Jesus, and it is about our call to love people, man.
good.
But that's just a little bit of that. What else came to mind from what you saw yesterday on social media?
I mean, like you said, I saw both opinions on polarizing sides. You obviously get the people that were commenting like, "Good, you know, he got what he deserved." Horrible. But what I was also pleasantly surprised with was, I have seen some of these videos that Charlie, going back to Charlie, that he's posted, the debates and some of the opposition that he's had, are these influencers that come up to every single event that he has to just try to debate him, try to catch him off guard. And so there's a couple of guys that I've seen that are always on his videos. And yesterday, one of them in particular, I think his name's Parker or something, but he posted a video, and I've seen him, and this guy is totally opposite of Charlie Kirk's point of view, you know, deservedly so. But he was posting, and he was saying, you know, I was at the event, I was 30 feet away from what happened. Horrible what happened. He was shaken up. But what I found amazing was that he was reading comments on his feed, and he said, I've been reading some of the comments that you guys have been leaving on my thread, and I just want you to know that if you in any way, shape, or form think that what happened is justifiable, is right, and he got what he deserved, and that, you know, this is the best thing that could have happened, he stated, he's like, please unfollow me.
Yeah.
Because there is a clear divide on you and I.
Yes.
He stated, I didn't like his point of view. I didn't like him as a person, but as a human, nobody deserves to be murdered that way.
Yes.
So I saw that even people that were opposing, on the opposing side, kind of snap out of it and for a moment have empathy and humanize the situation, which I think is beautiful.
Yes.
And is much needed.
Yes.
Because I mean, there's what causes people. You said it earlier. Like we are as a church both for the victims of these senseless acts of violence, and we're also our heart breaks for those that are causing it.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it earlier. Like, what if somebody could have reached this person earlier? A couple years earlier, and showed them the love of God.
Yes.
What if, that I think that's the question now. Like, what are we doing as a church? Are we waking up? Are we gonna take a stance? Not a call to all out war and to debate more and to argue more, but to show the love of God and be what we're called to be.
Yeah, I love that. I think there is this, I love what that person said, right? If you're going to say all these crazy things just because this isn't the platform. And this is what I've seen that is a little bit frustrating, that even the church has fallen into a few traps. This is how I put it. When you follow the trends, you'll fall in the traps. And I think what the church has fallen into is the trap of wanting to capture people's attention by being controversial. So we have preached about things that are controversial, but not controversial about the cross, but controversial about culture.
Yeah.
So we have taken on politics of the world instead of the passion of Jesus for the world. And we've tried to view and filter the gospel through the lens of politics, but the gospel is too big to be contained. We were talking about it earlier. Christianity, the Jesus way, is not an American way. The American way promises you the pursuit of happiness. Jesus promises you that you will carry your cross. And it is the complete opposite. The symbol of our faith and our way, it's a torture device. And yet, the churches that will grow by appeasing and giving people the wrong controversy. I would say it like this: the church is to be controversial, but about the right things, not the wrong things, which means I want people to be mad, but I don't want people to be mad simply because they disagree with me politically. I want those that are abusing to be upset with my messages, those that are in racism to be upset about my messages, those that are causing senseless acts of violence, not just political views. And I think through social media, going back to kind of like that thread that I feel like it's really tugging at our hearts, is that the church, sometimes we will choose to get clicks and views instead of being loud about our message, which is the cross. Ultimately, this is what we believe, that the cross is the message, and it's so convicting that something like this has to happen to wake us up.
Yeah.
And pastors like Philip Anthony Mitchell, who preach repentance and grace, sometimes we will look at him and be like, bro, like that's just too extreme. But Jesus was extreme. When Jesus came, he says, the law says if you take another man's wife, you've committed adultery. Jesus says, even if you've thought about it,
Yeah.
you've already committed adultery. Why? Because for him, sin is sin. There's no levels to it.
Yeah.
The wages of sin are death. Now, all sin has the same payment, which is death. This is why we need the cross. But not all sin has the same consequence.
Right.
I think what happened yesterday to Charlie Kirk is it's a sin. Murder is a sin. Cheating, lying, stealing is a sin. In the eyes of God, the solution is the same, is the blood of Jesus.
Right.
But there is a greater consequence that you left a wife and children without a father.
Yeah.
That we are creating a narrative that whoever we don't agree with needs to be silenced. And it's not. I feel like you cannot have faith until you have doubt. We will never have an agreement until we have a disagreement. But this is going back to Mark. It says a kingdom that is divided against itself cannot stand. A house that is divided against itself cannot stand. And if you keep reading it, it says, so that means if the enemy is divided against itself, he cannot stand. This is what I believe as a church. We are to be divisive, but to divide and rip apart people from the chains and the bondage of the enemy. It's not about choosing sides politically. I've heard it said before, the Reverend Sammy Rodriguez, right? I'm not about the elephant or the donkey. I'm about the lamb's agenda.
The lamb.
And I love it.
It's good.
Cringy, cheesy,
Hey.
but it's clear.
Yeah.
And it's true. I don't think as churches we should be pointing to blue or red. We should be pointing left or right. We should be pointing up.
Right.
In these times, creating space. What I love about our church is that it's so diverse, not just ethnically, but politically.
Yeah.
And I believe that is Jesus.
Yeah.
That is Jesus. I'm gonna have someone that is a rebel. I'm gonna have someone that is a tax collector.
Right.
And what I love about the brilliance of Jesus is that he is able to bring people who are on opposite sides of belief and faith, but find the commonality between us.
Yeah, you've said it before. It's not about like the uniformity, but the unity.
Yes.
And I think that's the beauty of it. And I agree. I love what we see here at Local. We see different walks of life. We see different cultures, different age gaps, but they all come together with a common cause and searching the same thing.
Yes.
And so it's so what do you see, like what do you see being the next move, or what does the church have to do, like what should be our call to do next? Because I see and I don't want to make any of these people that have been victims seem like put them on the same realm as like Stephen, in the Bible. But we see when he was murdered in the Bible, Stephen, like the church was shaken.
Yeah.
I feel like we are now this time, like the church is shaken. There's all these senseless acts that have been happening, but yesterday's kind of was like, dude, this is like the tip. I mean, not the tip, but this is like the straw that breaks the camel's back. So when in the Bible we see that they spread out of fear, but then they started also sharing the gospel more, and they started acting into what God had called us to do. So what do you see the church doing? What should be the move of the church leadership, church pastors, church influencers?
Yeah.
Like what's our move? What do we do?
I think it's the response. I believe in the law of opposites, right? A house divided against itself will not stand. A house that is united will stand.
Yeah.
The scripture shows us these stories on how we are sheep and the Lord is our shepherd. He's the good shepherd. And I think what tends to happen with us as humans is that when we get rattled, we run. We run for cover. And I think culture has given us false security, that we can hide in a chat room, that we can hide in a comment section, that we can hide in a political party, that we can hide in an idea. As a church, I think it's time for us to gather people to the Good Shepherd, bring in people to flocks. This is the time where we bring people to church. This is the time. My pastor said, he said, I hate when pastors say not to be spiritual. He says, we live in a spiritual reality. Yeah. Be spiritual.
Right.
What we're seeing right now in the world, it's the fruit of a spiritual issue.
Yeah.
People that are doing acts of violence is because hurt people.
Yeah.
So this is the call to gather the children of God. This is the call for us to understand that God cannot enjoy his house knowing that one of his children is not safe.
Yeah.
So us as leaders, as Christians, not because I'm a pastor, but because I am a Christian, I need to give people the shelter that I found. Not the building, but the flock of Jesus.
Yeah.
On the spiritual side. On the practical end, as people, I will say this. I was hanging out with my friend Kyle. I know Kyle is a listener. I know that he listens. I know this is a test on our
He's
friendship.
one of the 1.8 billion. And
he was talking about how there was this person at the church who, at his church, who left and had his number, so sent him this aggressive rant on a phone. You know, sometimes you get texts and they're like, can't believe you posted that, can't believe you said that, and started going off. And Kyle reached out to the person and said, hey man, like, have you ever trusted me? Like, do my words as a pastor, because you're calling me out as your pastor, do my words as your pastor carry any weight? And he's like, yeah, of course. And he says, okay, I'm gonna ask you to do this. Get off of social media for 30 days and then let's talk.
Yeah.
And this person actually did it. And after the 30 days, he apologized.
Jeez.
He said, you know what, man? You're right. I was consuming all of it. Going back to scripture, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Yeah.
We can only give in public what we receive in private.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
even Christians, we are consuming more of the world than the word. We're consuming more a person's opinion than the truth of Jesus.
Yeah.
All the answers for the senseless violence that's happening today, and the political unrest and division, all of the answers have already been written in Scripture.
Yeah.
It's just that we have not yet learned the lesson that we will never find the answer to the problem of the human soul outside of the person of Jesus.
Yeah.
So what I would tell people, I know this is hard because even this is content,
right.
is to watch what you're watching.
Yeah.
Because your feed feeds you. You got to watch what you're watching. You got to pay attention to what you're listening. Sometimes you think it's just noise. Oh, it's just a podcast. It's just them. Your soul, we talked about yesterday. You saw the footage. I saw the footage. And I heard this influencer said, like, and he wasn't even Christian. He says, I don't think humans are designed to be able to handle to see that violence.
Yeah.
And we're not.
Right.
Quick anecdote. I used to work at a grocery store, and it was my first job. And I was senior in high school, I believe. And I'm a bagger.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if you live in San Diego, it's in Paradise Hills, so you already know.
Hey, watch
and
out.
I'm bagging, and this guy comes up and pulls out a gun, and he just points it at the cashier, my friend, and I'm there. But here's the thing: he was a young cashier, early 20s. Looks at me, I look at him. We see the gun. Felt nothing.
Wow.
Because in my mind, I'm like, I've seen this. Like, yeah, it's from a movie. Like, I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shoot. I've seen this in movies. And then you see the actor. We're so desensitized.
Yeah.
We're so desensitized that we see pain and it doesn't break our heart.
Yeah.
I think our prayer should be that our heart will break for what breaks the heart of the Father.
That's it.
What breaks the heart of Jesus in justice is the widow and the orphan.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you may or may not agree with Charlie, but now there's a widow and now there's children without a father.
Yeah.
And that's what Jesus says. If I have a religion, it is to serve the widow and the orphan.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can say Christianity, it's not about works, but then at the end, you cannot fight that faith without works is dead. Jesus wants us to take care of these people, to speak up. There's so much hate, so much nonsense being said on social media about the mass shootings, the schools, the guns, the assassination, the wars that are happening. And if the world is going to be loud about division, the church needs to be loud about unity.
That's it.
So that's what I would say. Just long answer to your question. What would I tell influencers? Preach unity. There is such thing as always issues, but there's right now issues.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Jesus said, the poor you'll always have. When he was talking about,
me.
You won't always have me.
Yeah.
Why? Because Judas was like, yo, why did she pour out that perfume? We could have sold that and we could have feed the poor. And Jesus is like, the poor issue you'll always have. And we're in downtown
wild.
San Diego.
Yeah.
And there's poor people and homeless people.
Yeah.
Because there's always issues. Sin is an always issue. That assassination is a right now issue.
Yeah.
Why you talk about that and not talk about what's happening? Because
so
war, injustice, famine, sin will always be there. But Jesus says you got to talk about the right now issue. The school shootings are a right now issue. The murder of this young lady in a bus is a right now issue.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk is a right now issue. And we need to understand that we are here today as the body of Christ to talk about the issues of today.
That's so good.
Peter was there. He talked about the Peter time. In the future, our children will talk about the future issues. Let us not be the generation that went silent and the kingdom of God was not preached because we were too afraid to do so.
Yeah, it's so good. I feel like as this has gone on, I don't think we were kind of weary about talking about this. We were just trying to approach it in a very delicate way because we don't want to be taken out of context or seem like we're over politicizing anything or choosing one side over the other. But it's so true. I mean, if we stay silent, I think that's the worst thing we could do. So what are we doing? I think we're just speaking Jesus into it. This is what we do.
Yes.
And I love what you said about your feed feeds you. It's so true. Sometimes taking that break, taking just a time away from that to detox and just kind of reset you spiritually, reset your mind. I did it in 2024. My wife and I, Natalie, we took a whole year off of social media, and it started just as a January thing. Like, we'll just take a month off. But we started just feeling so at peace about it. No social media, nothing. And we just kept extending it. And then eventually we did a whole year, lost a bunch of followers. People probably were salty. Probably thought I was ignoring them.
Yes.
But because I did, again, I'm the worst millennial. I'm really bad at tech. I didn't know you could disable or like put it in sleep mode, whatever they call it. So I just logged out and deleted the app. People kept like adding or sending me message. People were wondering if I was okay, but whatever. If they're real friends, they'll message me.
Yeah.
But or call me. But that whole year, honestly, like, was so good as a reset for me spiritually, personally, my relationship with my wife. We just were able to really experience life in the now, like you said now. And earlier this year, 2025, I popped back in, and I find myself, like you said, just the useless scrolling, and it is what it is. True, like, and sometimes I have to catch myself and be like, dude, what am I feeding myself? And there's those moments of funny like memes that you send your friends and your wife, but you find yourself like sitting at the dinner table and you're sending your wife a funny meme and she's sitting right next to you. I don't know if anybody else does that. If it's just me, but it's
no, just you. Can't relate. Right. I'm present.
But these are the type of things like that I feel that as people we need to do. I mean, you take a moment to just detox and like talking about desensitizing people in addiction, when they quit drinking, or quit doing whatever sugar or whatever it is, if you jump back into it, like just one drink, it's it. And if you take a break from sugar or anything, I don't know if anybody's ever done that before. The moment you take a little taste of sugar, it just hits you. You feel that like crazy high again, like that jitteriness. But I think that's the same way. Like, I feel that a lot of people now are addicted to just seeing what's going on, the scrolling, choosing a polarizing side, and they're so desensitized to the violence. Like, well, we saw the images of that murder yesterday. Like, millions of people saw that, and they shouldn't have. No human should have seen that. And I'm sure there's children that saw that, and they're gonna grow up with that image in their mind. And then the next time something happens, it's gonna be like, oh, I've seen, like you said, like, oh, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get fazed. So that's frightening to think, like, that those things aren't stirring up something in us, an emotion, a spiritual impulse to show love and empathy. But yeah, man, it's crazy times, right?
It is. And I think when people talk about social media, when people talk about AI, are you scared of it? I tell people were scared of cars when they first came out. People were scared of the internet when it first came out. I think we have to look at it as tools.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to stop it or use it wisely, you're not in control of it. It's in control of you.
Yeah.
And it's scary to think about it, because people have their phones. But I'm like, maybe it would be a cool challenge to do one day without social media.
Yeah.
And if that makes you, oh my God, freak out, then
Something's going
that's a flag right there.
Right.
Man, that's crazy, dude. I think I'm glad that we talked about this. I feel like we were having a talk right before, and I was like, dude, maybe we shouldn't.
How do we approach this?
We can't be silent.
Right.
We cannot, because the enemy isn't.
Right.
And it's good to have these conversations, and I think a lot of people can be polarizing.
Yeah. And I think, we talked about it how we're supposed to. We didn't take a political side or choose one side over the other. It's just we're preaching, or not preaching. We're speaking about it as believers, as followers of Christ.
Yeah.
So
that's good. So now, not to be polarizing, but who did you vote for, and where were you on January 6th? And no, gosh, let even go there. It's so funny, dude.
I forgot about January 6th.
Oh yeah, I saw you. I called you. You didn't answer. I'm like, and then your wife just said you went out. You were out of town. Something you had to do
in
for
DC.
That one day I would thank you or
serving
something.
our country,
something like that. And you had some feathers and some paint, more paint.
That was me.
Oh, that you?
That's wild, dude. Why are we laughing at this? I don't even know. Dude, come on.
We're sorry, dude. We did so well until the end.
I know.
No, this is good, bro. This is so good. I enjoy this. Thank you for this. Everybody if you're still watching or listening, thank you. You're like on the deep end now. Like you made it. You're rolling with us. And good that I said watching or listening. If you're just listening to this on Spotify or on Apple or wherever you get your podcast, it's also in video form on YouTube. Yeah. So just look up either Abe Camacho, Sam Perez, or After Sunday podcast. Yeah. These are the conversations that we cannot have on Sundays, so we have them after Sundays.
Swatting flies.
You gotta see these flies. They are massive. Shout out to Lee and the youth. Maybe we increase the budget to help them with the pest control. This is what we do.
Those flies are pretty big.
Yeah.
Those are horse flies.
But I will give Lee a shout out. Take my liberties here, because there's flies in the green room, but their souls at the altar.
Oh,
come on, somebody.
Jesus.
People are being set free.
This is representing their sin, leaving.
I don't mind there to be trash left in the church as long as there's no trash in their souls. Oof. Come on, somebody. Pastor jokes are the best. We should do a whole episode just on the pastor dumb jokes. Things that pastors say.
And props. We got to do an episode on props. That's it.
So
we'll keep it light.
Thank y'all for just being with us, spending time with us. Please do all of the things wherever. If there's a subscribe, like, comment, ask questions. We should do a Q&A episode at some point. So just drop questions on the comment sections, and we'll get to it. And again, it means the world that you're with us. If this blessed you, helped you, if you thought it was entertaining, just share with someone. It means the world to us. And this is how we get the word out. There's no marketing budget for this. There's no pest control budget.
What's a budget?
There's a budget.
What's that?
So when you share this, it just helps us get the word out. Yeah. So we love you so much, and we can't wait to see you on the next episode.
Yep.
It's good.
How'd you feel about that?
Felt great.
Not too crazy?
No. The end was just probably the craziest, but I mean, it wasn't even that bad.
We should just clip that. Who'd you vote for? Where were you on January 6th? Boom! This is the episode to end all episodes. Look at this. Youth. My pastor would always say, dude, like, clean up. And I'm like, well, don't you have people to clean? It's like, I'll get in so much trouble. How was it? Was it good?
No, that was great.
I think it's good. It'll be fun. I'm gonna do a timer to see how long in the episodes you talk versus me.
Oh, you talk way more, but it's fine.
No, I thought you talked way more.
What? Who talks more?
Who talks more? Give me that. Is it him or me?
I think it's you.
Dude, okay.
I think a little bit.
I think,
It's pretty close. I mean,
I think we need to do like,
Something light.
not even now, but like I think some topics are pretty heavy, bro.
Yeah.
It's tiring. I feel like I just preached.
You did.
You did too, bro.
I just took what you said and simplified it.
As long as it's good, as long as it's good and makes sense, I'm good.
I
with
think it did.
yeah. No, I think it did too.
I think it was like a good.
It would have been weird if you didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
with you being the lead pastor for a large church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would have been weird if you didn't really
Yeah.
address the
That
topic like this. Like this is going to be like one of those events that like is in a history book type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like it's a,
It's gonna be
huge
a
monumental.
before and after for a
Right.
lot. And this is the platform. I don't think
Right.
the pulpit
No,
is.
no,
Right,
right.
exactly.
The pulpit is for the obviously. Yeah, it affects. So we gotta like bring it in. Moment of prayer. But that's what I love about this is like we're able to just go.
Dissect it.
Yeah, it's
So
a nice
I
space.
think, and the timing is crazy too, because if we would have recorded last week,
Oh yeah.
I would have missed out on all.
Imagine an episode came out about
next
random
Tuesday.
fashion in the church. It's like, bro,
Yeah,
it's not the
it's not.
time.
Dude, that's
So
crazy.
tone deaf.
Yeah.
Let's talk about swag. Preachers and sneakers.
Jeez.
Dude, that's the